I've been asked by a lot of people what I think of the comments by Meryl Streep at, I guess it must have been the Golden Globes or whatever. And while I won't touch on the political part of it, she did mention mixed martial arts in saying that it wasn't the arts. And obviously this has caused a little bit of a, I don't know, an upheaval maybe in our community. And it really doesn't bother me at all, actually. In some ways, at some point, I kind of agreed with her. And I think what she's talking about is mixed martial arts as we know it. I don't think that, obviously I don't think she does jiu-jitsu or understand exactly what we do. But with mixed martial arts, for example, when it's entertainment. It's a sport, so I can understand the difference. I think she lumped football in there as well. And yes, while some of it you could consider I think anything that you do physically to express yourself, whether it's through a game or anything else, can be considered art, in my opinion. I once actually kind of agreed with her and I kind of rejected the idea that I was doing a martial art. I remember watching the Gracie's in Action video over and over and over because I didn't really have a whole lot of things to watch. There was no internet when I started training, and very, very few VHS tapes that had this stuff. So I just rewatched the stuff that I had over and over. And I remember Horian saying in there something he had mentioned something about the transformation of more peaceful societies, better weaponry for warfare, so the less you needed physical contact with your enemy, and the less these things happen on a day-to-day basis, martial skill sort of morphed into martial art, and to continue these traditions and so forth. And I kind of agreed with that to a certain point, because I felt like what we had seen so much were at least growing up, were eventually kind of shown to be sort of feel-good martial arts. So they weren't that practical for a real confrontation. And I saw jiu-jitsu as something completely different because it worked. We threw it in there with the rest of the arts, and it came out on top. It worked. But I have since changed my opinion on that, and I do believe that what we do is an art. It is definitely my way of expressing myself in a very, very pure form. But I don't expect Meryl Streep to understand that. I wish she would. And I think that's where the real issue is for us. And I think this is the thing that we can do. What can we take away from this criticism is maybe the understanding that we need to educate the public better at what we do as martial artists, as jiu-jitsu practitioners and instructors, and really change the mindset, because clearly this is what she thinks of this, and we'd like the average public to understand that what we do is so much more. My friend Vince, one of my best friends, when he got his black belt, we got our black belts at the same time, and he made this great speech, and he talked about these Russian dolls, right? He described his experience at learning jiu-jitsu like those Russian dolls. I forget what they're called, but you open one and there's another one inside. Then you open another one, there's another inside, and another, and so on. And basically what he was saying is that you come to this art for one, for usually one purpose, right? To learn how to defend yourself. But there are so many other things that can be gained through it. And I think self-expression and the ability to express yourself as a martial artist is definitely one of those, and it's one of the most beautiful aspects of it. So I think that is what we take away from it. I know there's a lot of people that are upset about it, but I don't see any reason to be. I think it's really more a call to action for us to educate the public better at what we do. So maybe somebody can give Meryl Streep a jiu-jitsu lesson sometime. Who knows? Just wishing.